Alright, welcome back YouTube. Today we're going over chapter 2 of MCDP-7. In chapter 1, we talked about a concept called continuous learner. In chapter 2, they take this one step further. In chapter 2, we discuss 5 core concepts. The first concept is figuring out who you are. What do you believe in? What are your values? Do you have core philosophies that you live your life by? Take a pen, take a piece of paper, and write these things down. Figure out what you believe in and why. What about these certain things you're attracted to? What are certain things that you're not attracted to? Figuring this out is the first step to figuring out who you are as a man. The second thing we talk about are mistakes. Fellas, don't be afraid of making mistakes. Okay? Mistakes are a good thing. Mistakes are okay. And the more mistakes you make, you're that much closer to success. You learn things from mistakes, right? So here's what happens when you make a mistake. You make a mistake, you feel bad, maybe you feel stupid. You're like, oh, what's wrong with me? Look, it's okay. Instead, view it this way. Mistakes are part of life. Everyone will make a mistake. You're not special. But here's the thing. When you make a mistake, the first step is to discuss what happened and what led to the mistake. Okay? This is a key point. The second part is figuring out what you can do in order to no longer make that mistake, a corrective action. The third thing, and this is the final step, is to take the lesson learned and pass it on. You're not the first person to make this mistake, and you're not going to be the last person to make this mistake. So just stay calm, figure out what happened, why it happened, and what you can apply to the next time. The third thing talked about is creating goals. Now, what is a goal? A goal is something you want to accomplish over a duration of time. You create goals in order to assist you. Goals are something that you project into the future. Think of it like a street that you have to take in order to accomplish something, in order to reach the point that you want. You can make a goal on anything. You can make a goal on learning how to drive a car in 3 weeks, learning how to parallel park in a day. There's 2 important things that happen when you're meeting a goal. First is the journey to the goal, the journey to the accomplishment. Here is where you're doing all the hard work. You're learning, you're working, you're adjusting, and potentially you're getting feedback. All these things will make you a better individual. The second thing that's very important is at the finish line, is when you accomplish that goal. Think about the journey you took. Think about everything you learned. Think about how far you've come. Okay? And the beautiful thing is, when you complete a goal, you can make another goal. And let's say you create a goal every week for the entire year. That means at the end of the year, you've accomplished and learned 52 different things. How many people do you know that are doing that? The fourth thing that's talked about is something called a growth mindset. Now, what is that? A growth mindset is defined as a belief that your intelligence can increase through studying and practice. Now, why should someone have a growth mindset? Basically, having a growth mindset means you can accomplish whatever you put your mind to over a certain period of time. If you don't know how to ride a bike, well, you believe that through studying and practicing, you'll learn how to ride a bike. Now you can apply this concept to almost everything. Now the flip side is something called a fixed mindset, and you want to try to avoid this. What's bad when it comes to a fixed mindset is that you believe you can't change. You believe you're born being good at something and you're born being bad at something, and it stays like that. And there's nothing you can do about it. Having a growth mindset gives you the power and the opportunity to change. Okay? This is important. Develop your own growth mindset. You're not stuck. You're not always going to be the same person. You have the ability to adapt, to grow stronger, to grow better. Think of it like when you go to the gym and you work out. Over time, your muscles get bigger, right? They don't stay the same. When you play a sport, the more you practice, the more you study, the better you'll be at it, right? However, a fixed mindset would view that situation as, I'm going to the gym and I'm not getting muscle. Oh, I guess my genetics are bad. Oh, I guess going to the gym is just not for me. No. Learn what you're doing wrong and apply corrective behavior. Let's say you're playing basketball. If you're shooting the ball and you miss, it's not that you can't play or that you can't get a shot. Most likely your technique is off and your technique is wrong. You can argue that some people have a natural gift in certain things and some things come easier than others, but you can always change and you can always improve. So have a growth mindset. The fifth and last thing they talk about is setting the example. Setting the example is more about being a good role model. There's right and there's wrong. Let's say you have younger siblings, okay? You want to exhibit good behavior so that they follow in your path. For example, let's say you're walking down the street and you guys were eating chips, right? You as the leader should know that when you're done with that bag of chips, you throw it in the trash. Now let's say you see your younger siblings toss it on the floor, right? That's not good. You do not want them to be doing that. Not only can they get in trouble and get fined, they're making the planet and the environment and the community more dirty. You don't want that. So what do? You set the example by taking that trash and you throw it in the garbage. And if you see them do it, then you correct their behavior. You say, hey, you don't do that. Don't dirty the community. You take that trash and you go throw it in the garbage. And maybe they'll be like, oh, but there's no garbage around here. Well, then you hold on to it until you find the garbage. Okay? So just to recap, we're taking continuous learning one step further. We talked about what your core beliefs are, what your values are, what philosophies you live your life by. And we figure this out in order to determine what kind of person we are, what kind of man we are. Who do we want to become? Who do we not want to be? Secondly, we talk about making mistakes and understanding that making mistakes are okay. Mistakes are a part of life and you're going to make them. All you can do is figure out what happened and why you made the mistake, figure out the corrective behavior, and then figure out what you can learn and pass on to other people. Thirdly, we talked about creating goals. Why do you create a goal? Create a goal in order to accomplish something in a certain amount of time. You create goals in order to improve yourself, to better yourself. Okay? Create goals that assist you in what you want to do. Fourthly, we talked about a growth mindset and how having a growth mindset puts you in a position where you can change and where you can grow. Basically, through study and practice, you can improve yourself. And we also talked about why having a fixed mindset is bad. And lastly, we talked about setting the example. Okay? You have to be a positive role model for the people around you. Okay? And there are going to be people who aren't. You have to be the leader you want to be and set the example. All right? Now, if you like this channel, subscribe. If you appreciate this video, please hit the like button and throw some comments in the comment section below. I'd love to talk to you guys. And if you have any questions, let me know. Done.